Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of Wellness Wisdom. In our previous episode of Wellness Wisdom, we learned how to have a mindset makeover. We learned that our self-talk plays a very important role in creating our wellness and that we can change our self-talk through the power of positive affirmations. In our previous episode, we also learned how to cultivate a happy disposition. We understand that navigating change in this world can sometimes feel volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And cultivating resilience can really help us to deal with the world. In this episode, we're going to uncover the path to our most resilient self and look at what creating resilience can really do for us. We also get to learn how to recognize the signs of resilience and become aware of the things that we might be doing that can get in the way of our resilient life. As an added bonus, we will also be looking at simple and effective ways that cultivating true resilience can really be welcomed into your life, followed by a heartfulness relaxation and a meditation session. So, what exactly is resilience and why do we need to care about it? Resilience is a brilliant capacity that we all have that allows us to bounce back from setbacks we experience in life. It is a skill that we need that helps us to keep going even when things get tough. Cultivating resilience is a great way to ensure that we live a well-rounded and joyful life. Now, this all sounds great, but what can resilience really do for us? The easiest way to recognize if we can benefit from tapping into our resilience is when things don't go our way. Resilience is like an inner superpower that we can create for ourselves that shields us and provides our mind protection. And it comes in handy when we face uncertainty, challenges, and setbacks in our life, or when we experience stressful situations and have a sense of pressure or major changes in our life. For a lot of us, dealing with unexpected changes can actually be quite challenging. For example, let's take a moment and reflect on how we would normally respond when something that we wanted doesn't exactly go the way that we wanted it to. In your mind, take a situation where you felt like you did not get what you wanted or something seemed to go wrong. How did you respond? Did you get stuck on what happened? Did the experience pull you down? Did you try to avoid thinking about it? Or did you pretend that things were much better than they really were? Was it hard for you to let go of something? If you answered yes to more than 3 of these, it's very likely that you can benefit from the gift of resilience. In the beginning of this video, I shared that resilience is about our capacity to keep going even in the face of tough times. Now, this is not about being unbreakable or bulldozing our way through life. Resilience isn't about pretending that everything is fine or just moving on. It is about allowing yourself to feel all your emotions, whether it's sadness, anger, or frustration, and taking the time to process what actually happened before trying to move on. Resilience is reflected in our capacity to flow and adapt to changes with an open and free mind. Having said that, some of us actually feel like we're kind of good at handling stress and dealing with unexpected changes in our lives. This was the case for Mithili. Mithili was a young girl who thrived on chaos. She moved around the country every now and then with her family, and it was always an adventure for her. New languages, ever-changing schools, she embraced it all with ease. When people saw Mithili, She seemed like a social butterfly. She had a joyful demeanor and could get along with everyone no matter how different they really seemed from her. At school, she easily finishes her assignments and thrived even in the face of surprise tests and pop quizzes. One day, Mithili's good friend Saya calls her and lets her know that she won't be able to come and hang out with Mithili that day and that she was going out with her parents instead. Now, Mithili, who was really looking forward to this outing, felt a wave of disappointment wash over her. She felt stumped and confused, and tears started to stream down her face. Mithili was not used to this at all. She found herself thinking about all the times in her past where people have let her down, and suddenly she felt weak and tired. The resilience that Mithili thought that she had started to feel brittle. She realized something, that she was able to go with the flow with many aspects of her life and was able to adapt to changes as and when they came. But when it came to her close friendships, Mithili felt limited. Having close friendships felt like a task for Mithili. She felt that being open and sharing her true feelings with her friends was like walking on eggshells. Recognizing this, Mithili felt that she really needed to talk to somebody about this. But she was at a loss for words. So instead, Mithili began to journal her emotions and frustrations. And after a while, she felt better. She also had this nagging feeling that she really needed to let her friend know that she was actually upset. This thought frightened Mithili. She was afraid that her friend Saya would not want to hang out with her if she really knew that Mithili was upset and not the cool girl that she seemed to be. This was an area of Mithili's life where she did not feel very strong and courageous. And instead, she was worried that she would be judged and left behind. She recognized that she only wanted to seem strong and unbothered in front of her friends, but did not actually feel that way. So she took a moment and asked herself, how was I able to deal with so many other changes in my life? Mithili realized that her resilience was not about being unaffected by life's hiccups, but actually acknowledging her feelings and learning from them had always been the thing that helped her to be truly flexible and build strong connections. Like Mithili, we may have access to brilliant ways of handling stress and changes in one aspect of our lives, but struggle to do so in another. Maybe you find it easier to deal with a professional rejection, but feel completely lost when someone rejects you in your personal life. Or perhaps you've learned to take others' disappointments with a pinch of salt, but you struggle to accept criticism in your work. Perhaps you're really good at seeing all the minute details of your daily interactions with people, but you struggle to see the larger picture of your life. So, how do we make sense of this? Why do we feel like we can take on the world when it comes to one aspect of our lives, but feel completely unsure, confused, and sometimes even overwhelmed when it comes to managing other aspects of our life? This is because resilience is not a one ingredient dish. Actually, the resilience that we have is more like a full course meal, and it comes with a variety of different ingredients. These are some of the major types of resilience that most of us have to some degree or another. The first is physical resilience. The second, emotional resilience. Third, mental resilience. And the fourth is spiritual resilience. Being physically resilient is like being a sturdy oak tree. And like this tree, we draw our strength from our physical vitality and our ability to adapt to changing environments. Being emotionally resilient is like being a lighthouse in the middle of tumultuous waters. It helps us to see clearly even while experiencing large and overwhelming emotions. Mental resilience is a lot like having a GPS. It can help us to get back on track when we steer off from our destination. Being mentally resilient has a lot to do with cultivating a sense of curiosity, optimism, and a sense of direction. You can learn to do this using the power of positive affirmations from our earlier episode. Finally, being spiritually resilient is all about staying connected within, like an eagle soaring in the sky. Spiritual resilience is our ability to see our lives from a larger perspective and stay deeply connected to a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. So, what actually stops us from being connected to all the aspects of resilience in our life? Believe it or not, there are things that we do on a daily basis that stops us from living an open, adaptable, and free life. The first one is living a life of perfectionism. When we strive to be perfect, instead of recognizing how well we might actually be doing, it can put us in a state of constant stress, and it can create anxiety and ultimately lead to a lot of disappointment. The second thing that can really affect our sense of resilience is when we keep comparing our life to someone else's. When we alternate between what we have and don't have, it can leave us feeling quite inadequate and sometimes even isolated. This can really affect our sense of strength. Third, when our self worth depends on how others see us, our sense of resilience goes for a toss. When we keep doing things in order to get somebody else's validation and appreciation, we can go out of our way, and it actually becomes very difficult to stay grounded, centered, and present. The fourth, and one of the biggest factors that can hurt our resilience, is bottling up our emotions and not asking for help when we really need it. Keeping our feelings bottled up can lead to emotional overload and can make it incredibly hard to cope with even the smallest things in our daily life. This leads to burnout. So you might wonder, what can I really do to come back to my real and most resilient self? Real resilience has a lot to do with connection. This means that resilience is not something that can be created in isolation. When we feel truly connected to ourselves and the universe at large, we have the capacity to create the most positive changes in our life. Resilience is the strength that we derive from connection. One of the best ways to cultivate resilience is connecting with nature. Nature is the easiest way to reconnect with our most resourceful state. So go for a hike, sit by a river, spend some time with animals, because being in nature has a very calming effect. It can help you feel more connected with something bigger than yourself while remaining present and grounded. Another powerful activator of resilience is embracing a sense of humor. Studies show that people who are highly resilient welcome a sense of lightness in their lives. Humor and laughter prevent us from taking ourselves too seriously, and they also produce chemicals in our body that boost our healing, support our recovery, and promote a sense of optimism in our lives. A resilient mind is like riding a well built vehicle with great suspension. Even when the roads of life are filled with ups and downs, a resilient mind can ensure a smoother travel experience. We can cultivate a resilient mind by exploring tools like journaling, using art to express ourselves, brain gym exercises, and meditation. But if you find yourself hesitant to try any of these tools, a super effective road to resilience is connecting to the power of positive imagination. In the midst of your daily grind, take a moment to visualize the life that you really want to lead. See yourself living the most optimistic, curious, flexible, and open life that you can. Imagine what the most centered, grounded version of you would be like. Take a little time to engage in a little creative visualization. This activates the most resourceful, experienced, and effective parts of your brain and transports you to a life of brilliance. Living life with resilience is a gift that we give ourselves, and we can easily recognize this gift when we find ourselves feeling open, curious, living our life in the present moment, feeling free to change while remaining grounded. This is your path to mental mastery. At the end of the day, true resilience is a beautiful dance between inner strengths to face our challenges, the flexibility to adapt, and the curiosity to find new solutions. It's this amazing conversation that allows us to rise above adversity and create a life of wellness. So, dear friends, thank you for being here today for this episode of Mental Mastery, where you have learned that resilience comes in a variety of different forms, including physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And that being resilient isn't about pretending that everything is fine or just about being strong, but it is our capacity to bounce back from challenges with an open and flexible mind. We also learned that resilience is not something that is developed in isolation. It is a skill that can be learned through the right tools of connection. So let us continue a journey into connection through experiencing heartfulness relaxation, followed by meditation. Stay tuned and get comfortable.
Sit comfortably and close your eyes softly and gently. Feel a healing energy move up from the earth into your toes, feet, and ankles. Feel your toes relax and your feet relax, and allow your ankles to relax. Now feel this healing energy move up to your knees. As it moves up, it relaxes your calf muscles. Feel this energy remove all the tension from your knees. Now it is moving further up your legs, into your thighs. Feel your thighs relaxing. Now the energy has moved into your hips and waist. Feel them relax. As the energy moves up, your lower back is relaxing. And your stomach. Now the energy has moved into your chest area. Feel it relax. Feel the energy move up your back and into your shoulders. Feel your upper back relax. and feel your shoulders simply melting away. The energy is now moving into your arms. They too are getting relaxed. Feel all the tension from your elbows leaving. And as the energy moves into your forearms, they too are getting relaxed. Remove all the tension from your wrists as the energy moves into your hands and right up to your fingertips. Now move your attention up to your neck. The energy is moving up and relaxing your neck muscles. Now it is moving into your face, relaxing your jaw and mouth. The energy moves into your nose and eyes, relaxing them. Your cheek muscles are relaxed. Feel your earlobes relax. And now the energy is moving all the way up to the top of your head. Feel it relax. Feel your entire body is relaxed from top to toe. Now move your attention to your heart. Feel that a source of light is already present in your heart, and it is attracting you from within. Do not try and see the light, just know that it is there in your heart. Be open and receptive to a very subtle energy flowing into you. Relax into this feeling. If you find your awareness drifting at any time to other thoughts, don't fight them. Let them be. Gently remind yourself that you are meditating on the light in your heart. Allow yourself to become more and more absorbed within. Remain absorbed until you hear further guidance. while keeping your eyes closed. Gently come out of the state of meditation. Now gently open your eyes. Reflect on what you just experienced. Try and retain this condition as you return to your daily routine.